All right, let's connect then with the management of Schaeffler India. They're here to talk a little bit about the recent acquisition as well as their capex plans. Harsha Kadam is the MD and CEO joining in. Thanks so much for taking time out. Let's start off with the acquisition, the end of KRSV Innovation. What kind of revenue and margin impact do you see?
Well, at the point in time when we made the acquisition, Coors already had a turnover of about 77 crores, and we have bought the company at about 140 odd crores. And we have a clear strategy to scale this up. And as I mentioned earlier, today Coors is operating only in the south of India, and we want this to be scaled up to a pan-India level. So obviously, this can only mean an upward growth in the sales volumes.
Right. But last quarter, you did see strong performance in the auto aftermarket and industrials, which was partly offset, I guess, by the muted show in auto OEMs. Are you seeing any recovery in that segment?
If I were to look at the production and sales numbers of, let's say, the automotive OEM segment, particularly the passenger vehicles, both the sales and the production numbers for the month of August show an increase of almost 12% over the same period last year. But we are still not seeing the similar kind of increases, whether it is in the two-wheeler segment or in the tractor segment. And in spite of this 12% growth in the month of August, our own Schaeffler business has continued to show a much stronger growth in the last quarter. And this is in spite of the subdued market condition in their own export businesses, because as you know, our automotive OEM export businesses were also pretty down.
Exports have been impacted due to global slowdown. What is the outlook there?
Well, exports continue to be an important part or important area for Schaeffler India. And our export growth is driven by the strong need for localization, meaning with the government's drive to be Atmanirbhar and the Make in India initiative, it is all but imperative that we make those products in India, which we were hitherto importing. Now, this also helps us to leverage the competitiveness in India to grow our export business. So there are some specific product lines we have consistently invested in, not just in the manufacturing capacities, but our own engineering capabilities as well. And this has helped us stand in good stead to become the epicenter for excellence for those products coming out of India. Now, we have significantly grown our exports over the last 3 years from a level of close to 10% of sales to around 17 to 18% last year. However, this year, we have faced some headwinds by way of slowdown in the demand due to the ongoing geopolitical situations in Europe and some economic slowdown in Europe as well. We hope the situation changes for the better as soon as possible, and we should be seeing strong numbers coming into our export business as well in the coming quarters.
And how is the traction in the EV segment? Any significant orders won within the railway space after the Vande Bharat orders?
So Schaeffler has a very strong lineage in the EV technology product line in Europe. And the aptly named the product family of drive motion, as we call it, continues to be a strategic focus area for us. And India is no exception either. So I'm pleased that we are progressing well in the electric vehicle business as well. Having secured a new business win with one of the leading electric vehicle manufacturers, we have set ourselves strongly on the path to build a robust EV technology. And not just that, but we are also now building up the competence within India to design and develop these products. Our committed actions to supply the 2-in-1 e-axle or the 3-in-1 e-axle, which primarily comprises of the e-motor, the transmission gearbox, and the controller, and sometimes the thermal management modules to the Indian market, will help us to graduate up the value chain from being a component supplier to a system level supplier. Now, this will obviously add a significant value to our customers as well as to our own business. It goes without saying that we will continue to invest and grow in our foundation products in the IC engines as well, and parallelly start to invest into the electric vehicle part production within the country. Talking about railways, Railways is one of the fastest growing sector, and we are present pretty strongly in the metro trains and the passenger vehicles. We do certainly have some projects on the way to penetrate the freight trains. And in due course of time, we are optimistic that we will come out with some products for the freight trains as well.
Right. A lot of infra-related deals were announced at the G20 summit also, right? Any specific opportunity you think it opens up for your company?
First and foremost, the G20, the way it was being organized and conducted in every state, we saw a lot of buzz around it. And certainly this is putting India on the global map in terms of economic growth. There's no doubt about it. That said, now is that resulting into business? I would say this is too early and premature, but the projects that have been discussed and closed during the G20 summit obviously would benefit a lot of our own customers and thereby would cascade down as business opportunities for us. So we will definitely be watching the new needs and the new business opportunities that would surface, and we would definitely make every effort to try and leverage and capitalize on them.
Okay.